For sales, please press 1.
Welcome back. It's your host, Richie Rich, and my right-hand man, my left-hand man, Down Payment Dylan. And you're now tuned into the one and only Timeshare podcast in the world. Sold in 60. Yes. We're back. And guess what? Summertime madness. Ooh. What's poppin', y'all? Listen, I'm so excited, D-Money, about everything that's coming in store this season. Man, it's like a jam-packed summer, man. Everyone is running. Everyone is working. Late nights. Some people saying that the resort is not as busy as normal, but I feel like it's the summer regardless, whatever. You know what I'm saying? People are here, and those that are here, they're taking the time to go on vacation, and those are the ones we're going to make a big difference with. You know what I'm saying?
I know some reps that got off work 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock last night. You know?
It's one of those things that is inevitable. In this season, you know, there's probably, 3 waves, some 4 for some people, and guess what? You're going to be busy. You're going to be busy, and you're going to get a late deal. You're going to be working a deal, and then you're going to be leaving deeding. Does everybody call it deeding?
Deeding, yep.
Okay, deeding, you know what I'm saying? And that's the way it is. So this is one of them times where it's like late nights, early mornings. You got to get into peak state, get rest. There's a lot of not going out because it gets like that.
Yeah, but there's also shout out to all my reps that are going out, drinking, partying, staying up past 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, getting home by 3, 4 o'clock, waking up by 5, 6 o'clock to be at the resort by 7, 8 o'clock just to get a deal. Shout outs to you.
y'all different.
For sure.
I think when you hit a certain threshold, man, all that's out the window, man. But I want to start this episode off with a moment of silence. Rest in peace, Blake Hurst. Rep number 907. So I'm going to go a whole lot tight for my man Blake.
My name is Blake Hurst. This is my story. Because until you ask for the sale, you want to rent, you want to own, you got to get that no out. You got to get those 2, 3, 4 no's out. And then when you ask them when you're done, before we go see this model, what do you want to do? And they should say, own. All right, let's go see it, take a look at it, see if you like it. Or if I get that last objection, I may not try and hammer it out right then. Let's go to the model. Now I got that last objection. I can kind of work on that all the way to the model, in the model, come back. So you want to rent, you want to own. Well, how much is it? Well, it don't matter what it costs if you don't want it. You want to own. I can talk about prices for 20 minutes, but you got to hit that money again, Because for every time they say, well, just show us the price. If you don't get that answer, they'll go, well, we got to think about it. Oh, we're not sure. Are we doing this or we're doing that? So trial closes is the most important part of your presentation. Because before I show them that money, I'm going to ask them. I'm going to show them the regular price. Then I'm going to say, well, if I could do something special for you, whether it's treat you like a referral, get owner inventory, or whatever you want to use, what can you handle a month?
Shout out to Blake. Blake was one of the OGs of the industry. So when I talk about like back in the day, when I talk about half checks everywhere, half checks uncashed in your glove compartment, you know what I'm saying? Those stories of the timeshare days that I miss, I learned from Blake. Blake is like an OG that worked with my parents, you know what I'm saying, that showed me the ropes. And I remember when I first started back in 2012, man, he was popping, you know what I'm saying, like top 10. And I was like, damn, how this dude who's been in the game since, early 90s still popping. And when everyone was using iPads and all that, like he was old school with it. Same trial closes, same closing technique, but he was popping. And I got a video that I'm going to put out this week of Blake. Because when we first started the whole podcast thing and I was doing the series, Blake was one of the first ones to volunteer to be like, yo, let me share some jewels, you know what I'm saying, with your network. So we'll put that out so y'all can see, man. Shout out to Blake Hurst. His rep number was 907. He's a Westgate Resorts legend. And he just passed away recently. So shout out to Blake.
Yeah, shout outs to Blake, man. I had the opportunity to meet him. He was a really nice guy. I'm gonna have nothing but good things to say about him, man. Right. But if we're shouting out Blake, we definitely got to shout out Mr. Siegel. I don't think we showed any respect to Mr. Siegel when that news came out.
You're right. Shout out to David Siegel. Give many people I know in Central Florida the opportunity, not just Central Florida, but other states where he had resorts. You know what I'm saying? Like opportunity. Like I got a few pictures with him. I got to kick with him. You know, I got to work with his wife and him on a video level. So, yeah, rest in peace to David Siegel. He's definitely the GOAT. They call him the king of timeshare at the time. You know what I'm saying? One of the first pioneers in Orlando, Florida to set the grounds and to give so many people opportunities. I mean, talk about the largest privately held timeshare company in the world. That's a big deal. And there's so many people who have started, you know, we're going to do an episode that said who got the best training. And I mean, hands down, I don't know if you guys know the story, but we hear a lot of people say that David Siegel's company, Westgate Resort, has the best training. I'm going to let the viewers and the guests speak for themselves. But, man, shout out to an iconic person who has employed so many people and given so many people the opportunity to make money off of sharing vacations. So shout out to David for sure, for sure.
Absolutely.
And the list goes on. I mean, there was a lot of greats that we lost. Like I met, shout out to Tanya Creek. Rest in peace, Tanya Creek. Tanya Creek was another GOAT, Venezuelan lady who hardly knew English, came in the game, broke records, wrote millions, and you know, she passed away. I think I might have been a sales rep or a trainer at the time. I'm not sure, but shout out to Tanya. And there's just a few people, like, you know, there's people that I met in the game, new people who, you know, this life can bring a fast life as well. And if you're not grounded or if you're not around the right people, like, things can happen. You know, the drinking, the alcohol, the partying, all that, you know, there's some tragic things that happened to some people that I met. I was fortunate to meet along the lines, and, you know, they lost their lives. And so anytime a resort loses somebody, especially when, you know, you build like a family with people that you meet and come and that you see every day, and to lose them, it kind of, you know, it's a tragedy. It's messed up. So if you know somebody that passed away, you know, give them a shout out in the comments. Rest in peace. Keep their name alive. You know what I'm saying? And if you know anybody that was very influential, we'd love to have them spoken about on the show. So shout out to all those legends and those people that made a mark on other people's lives.
For sure. Absolutely. Definitely can't take it for granted. Definitely can't take it for granted.
Speaking of, I'm hoping that people have things in order for if something happens. You know, one of the sponsors that we have for our show for this season is the Abundance Boulevard Coaching. And all they talk about is financial literacy and estate planning and wellness for your children. And not every company sets you up for that. You know, some companies have the retirement plans and the tools to get you set up for just in case something happens. They'll have like life insurance and stuff like that. But some companies don't. Some are just straight 1099. You get paid as an independent contractor, and some have benefits. And some people leave companies to go to other companies because of that. So if you work for a company that doesn't have anything in place, it's okay to seek a way to find a company or some type of system or service that can help you have that to off balance. So if you work 1099, find somebody that can help you set up a life insurance or a Roth IRA or RIA, or, you know what I mean? Something like that. And if you work for a salary company, make sure you find out, can you set up a 401k, or do they have a life insurance policies that are covered for you while you're employed? Because things happen, and we want to be able to protect our family. I mean, the whole reason why you hustle, or the whole reason you go to work is not just for you, but it's for the ones that's left behind you. So shout out to our sponsor, and shout out to y'all for being knowledgeable, for utilizing your resources. And if you don't have the resource, click our link in our bio, and I'm sure one of our sponsors have a link for you to follow and talk to them.
For sure. And going right into it, there's some timeshare companies out there where, you know how you get the family, the tour, they'll say, oh, well, if something happens to my husband, then I'm stuck with it. Or if something happens to me, then, you know, we're stuck with it. There's some companies out there that have some type of mortgage protection built into the monthly payment or built into the deal. So that way, if something tragic was to happen to the husband or the wife, the company will step in and take over or pay off the mortgage for them. Depending on what company you work for, you need to find out, because that's a selling point. You know, for sure. You need to find out if your company offers something like that.
I had an owner. This is crazy because this was a referral. referral of mine, and I actually partied with these people. I partied with them after the sale, and we went to one of the tourist attractions. But about a year or two later, I found out that the boyfriend killed the lady. You know what I'm saying? They bought together, but they weren't married. Boyfriend killed the lady.
Get out of
Yeah,
here.
I have pictures. They're my owners. You know what I'm saying? So looked up the account, and the account was paid off because the insurance paid for the account. So the kids were able to really have the timeshare for real.
Wow.
It was paid off. How the maintenance was handled, I don't know because they were young, but to see that it was paid off from the life insurance means I was like, hey, this thing really works, you know? Not something I could really use on the table all the time, but I brought it up because they were really my peeps. Like I have pictures with them, but then the account was paid off. So yes, it works.
Yeah.
I mean, but what do you think about that? I mean, who does that? Does it really benefit the family or does it benefit the company?
If what happens, the person passes away?
Yeah. And the company's getting paid.
Well, it benefits the owner.
I think it benefits both.
Well, how would it benefit the company? Because the company's not paying it off and then taking it back, are they?
Nah, but they still got their money.
Well, okay, let's say I buy timeshares $20,000. I was only able to put $5,000 into it before I passed away. So what happens with the other $15,000?
Just got paid.
Who got paid?
The company.
How?
The insurance.
Oh, okay, got you.
So that's like a crazy.
I guess you're right.
like, whatever happens to you, I'm getting paid regardless. Like you know what I mean. Then I'm gonna give it to your family, who's still gonna pay me the maintenance every year. I'm winning. Ooh, we didn't uncover that hack.
You're right about that.
You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because certain companies in your script, they say we have this, we have that, we have insurance companies, and people say it, but not really knowing the big scheme behind things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You got this, you got that, you got insurance companies, and you're not thinking nothing of it. You just talking about credibility, but hold on. You got insurance companies. That means you're selling policies. So wait. If every deal got a policy, that means you're getting premiums. If you're getting premiums, that means you're getting paid. And if people don't die, then you're making money. Like, oh, it's a hustle.
You guys got to look into it.
Wait a minute.
For sure.
So then you like, okay, I see the bigger thing. Now people are doing these mortgages that are paying high percentages. And what are these companies doing? They're packaging those mortgages up and selling them to banks. Mm-hmm. Let me say it again for the people who was in the back. They're packaging the mortgages up and selling it to the banks. Mm-hmm. So this is a business in a business. We're selling paper. We're selling loans. I got a good paying customer, 6 months, back-to-back payments. They're paying on time. This is a locked in 18% interest rate. Man, I got about 600 of these.
Yeah.
Give me a lump sum of money. I'm going to sell you this good paper.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Sometimes the less you know, the better.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Don't run that on your table. Don't make a big deal. But just looking at the bigger scheme of thing, when you have people that fight you on the table, oh, that interest rate is crazy. I would never pay that. And we tell them, listen, interest is optional. If you didn't have the money, then obviously you got to borrow the money. You don't got to pay that. You could pay it off sooner. You know what I'm saying? There's no prepayment penalty. But those people that are paying at that interest, guess what? Them loans are definitely getting sold.
Now, what about, I don't know how deep you want to go into it, or maybe you just want
to go deep, man.
What about the families that have a 401k that's sitting on the back end wondering how they're going to pay for the timeshare?
Well, a lot of them are not thinking about their 401k, and I think that one of the beauties that you can come up with as a close or an option to offset interest is saying, hey, listen, this is just like a savings, just like your 401k, or just like you got car insurance, you got health insurance, you pay for it monthly, but something bad has to happen. With your 401k, you're paying for it, you're saving for retirement. So what if you can do a personal loan from your 401k, use that to pay off this? You can do a shorter term, like 5 years instead of 10 years without a mortgage. You actually be paying yourself back. So you're paying yourself back with interest, but also paid off your timeshare, and you can vacation and use it. It's a win-win. You just paid yourself and now you're vacationing off your own money. So that's how I would push it.
Now, I know we got a lot of young viewers too, so the 401k conversation might just go right over their head, and if it is going over your head right now, good. You're not supposed to know all that extra stuff.
You should know that stuff. You should, but your school probably didn't teach you financial literacy or didn't teach you things like saving for retirement. So for those people and for those entrepreneurs and the people who never worked for a company that offered it, because a lot of companies didn't offer that and the whole match, but you can contribute to a savings that they'll use for different, stocks that they invest in, where you can get, your money can go up. And therefore, if you keep doing it for a certain amount of years, you have a balance that has appreciated and your investment. And by the time you retire, you have money to cover your retirement, cover your expenses. So what I'm saying is that, so there's a way that you can take a loan against that money when it gets to a certain amount. You can even use it to buy a house. You can use up to $10,000 tax-free if it's your first time buying a home. You can use that as a down payment or for closing costs as long as you have the contract showing that you're buying a house. But you can also do a personal loan, and you can pay yourself back with interest, and it comes out of your check, so it doesn't even hurt. You know what I mean? They have different terms. They probably have a 3-year. They probably have the 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, and it will come out of your paycheck.
Yeah, and so keep in mind, guys, this is all real estate related, right? I would assume if you're selling timeshare, you have a real estate license if you're in a state that has to pay a commission, right? So these are all real estate conversations. This is still within the real estate category of being able to have these type of talks on your table, depending on the family that you have in front of you. So get yourself educated. If you want to learn more about that, I'm pretty sure you can reach out to AB. What's the company?
ABC.
ABC?
Abundance Boulevard Coaching.
There you go. I'm pretty sure they can lead you in the right direction if you guys have more questions on that, for sure.
I think that we have to learn all types of ways to overcome rejection, because somebody right now is getting somebody on the table that's saying they're about to buy a house or something like that. And even if you're buying a house, obviously you're still on vacation, and we're not talking about money outside of what you're already doing and yada, yada, yada. But there's some people that understand that. What if you could do both? Today we're talking about a $50,000 deal. How much is the house you're buying? Let me ask you a question. If the house was another $50,000 and they told you it comes with a house in the back, but you can take that house anywhere over the world, it's only going to make your monthly payment go up a little bit more. Would you do it? Obviously they would. That's the same thing we're doing here. This is your vacation home with wings and wheels. But here's the good thing about the house. As the house appreciates in value, you can refinance that mortgage, wrap up the vacation home into it, and do it before that's paid off. And boom, you got a deal.
Okay, so let's back up just a little bit. If you're telling me, if I tell you, hey, I'm getting ready to buy a house, right? It's a $200,000 house, and you're trying to sell me a $50,000 timeshare, you're basically telling me, what if I could buy a house that has a little house in the background, in the backyard, which is $50,000. So now the house is $250 instead of $200,000. So you're basically saying purchase the $50,000 timeshare with my $200,000 house. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying what I'm saying is,
go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? If you could couldn't you do both? If you could do both, would you do it?
If I could do both,
right?
Yes.
Your payments ain't gonna change a lot. $50,000 more is gonna go up or something, right? You're still gonna vacation. Mm-hmm. But if the realtor told you for an extra $50,000 you can get another house as a vacation home that you can travel anywhere over the world, would you do it?
Yes.
They're gonna tell me, yeah.
Yes.
That's the same thing we're doing here. It's your vacation home.
Okay, but how does that still? I still can't purchase with you. I got a loan. I can't take out any more. My debt to income ratio, I can't get a $50,000.
Whoa! What do you mean? Have you already been pre-approved?
There you go. So that shows you some questions that you need to ask the family that's in front of you. So if I say yes, I have been pre-approved.
Awesome. So if you're pre-approved for 200, you could be pre-approved for a little bit more. And guess what? What I could do is, depending on where you're working at, do a drop. Sell on a smaller package with the opportunity to upgrade down the line after they close. Mm-hmm. Lock in the price for the bigger package that they want. Sell them the smaller package to give them the opportunity to upgrade.
Okay, so like buy a $15,000 package with you today and then buy the rest of it later on after I close.
Let me get a price freeze. Let me give you, for you, I'm going to do this. We're going to freeze it for 2 years. Then we'll take this and we'll roll it into this and we'll upgrade it. Now, there's some companies, keeping it real, I don't know if I could say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. There's some companies that, depending on when they're going to close, they can structure the deal where it doesn't even hit their credit.
That's what I was going to ask you, like a mail out almost type of deal.
Kind of like a mail out, but I think they write the deal as like a cash deal for whatever reason. So when you write it as a cash deal and you write it for X amount of days, they won't pull credit.
Got you.
There's also another strategy where the consumer could freeze the credit for whatever. So they'll do the deal without pulling the credit. Yeah. You just got to get with your resort, get with your managers, and see like what strategies they have for people when it's buying a house. But saying you buying a house should not be the end of it, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's an objection that you can't overcome. Yeah. Because if you got approved, most people, if you got approved for a home, there's still room. You know what I mean? Like it's very rare you find somebody that's approved with like no limit for. Yeah. There's no room to purchase more. You know what I'm saying? So
for sure,
don't let that be an objection. Speaking of objections, objection overruled can be found, link in the bio. Objection overruled. All right, quiet in the court. We also have the timeshare objection cards that are still available. I think there's a few left. There's a new series coming out called the Pitch Deck, I believe. That one's different pitches for back end closes, and it comes with a video series. And then also, if you check the link in the bio, there's some courses that's dropping. One is called the Persuade with Purpose, and another one is called, what's the other one called? I think it's called, it's for brand new agents in the business. It's like an A to Z course.
The workbook?
No, the workbook goes with the course, but I think it's called the Secret Sauce, like an A to Z thing. So just check in, click it up. The biggest thing that I want, because this is summertime, you know who people already started on the floor, like, shout out to everyone who just started, who's trying to figure it out. I noticed some of you out here that took 25 tours, one sale. Don't worry about it because your time is coming. You learn from everything that you've been through. So we thought about you in mind. And guess what? In the bio of the Instagram page, there is a link for what they call a 30 tour journal.
Oh, yeah, the journal's nice.
Click
you gotta
that,
get the journal.
Download that, print it, and start writing in there what you experienced on that tour. What you did good, what you did bad, why they didn't buy, why they bought. What the TO did, what strategies they did, and think about what can you do next time that comes in front of you. Because I promise you, if you look at that 6 months from now, a year from now, you'll be like, damn, I would have ate that tour up. I would have said this and I would have did that. And you know what I'm saying? Because we learn from our failures. This is the only business where you get paid for failing. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
7 say no, 3 say yes. You getting paid $100,000. So download the journal. It's a free. Hey, if you see that it asks you for the credit card, just put 0.00. Or if you want to support the movement, then put 1000
for sure.
.00. You know what I'm saying?
But even with the journal, you don't even have to look back 6 months. You do a journal, you look back 10, 15 tours, 20 tours, and see the ones that told you no, the families that said no, and the reason why they tell you no. And that'll let you know what you need to work on in your presentation. If you look back in the journal, let's say you did 15 tours and you look back and 5 families said no because I need to think about it, or 5 families said no because, now's not a good time, then I let you know that, okay, man, I need to work on my urgencies. I need to work on certain pitches during my presentation so that way I don't get these same objections. So keeping the journal is definitely something you need to do for sure.
Absolutely. I didn't have a journal when I first started. So I used the iPad and I put my notes in there and stuff like that. And one day I found that iPad. I went back and I was like, damn, I wish I had that. I would have said this, I would have said that. I'll never forget, I had an owner who had a fixed week in a 4-bedroom lock off that only gave you 3 weeks, and 2 were studios and 1 was a 2-bedroom. And he came like a one-legged. His wife wasn't there; he was divorced. But he what was the thing? He owned every other year. You know what I'm saying? But I was so new at the time. Like if I had that same opportunity, I could have showed him the back half. I could have showed him how it works.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you learn those things and you say, okay, I'll eat that up. And that's the beauty of journaling. So, because guess what? The tour that said they're coming back.
Oh, for sure.
But they're coming back in a different form and a different family. You know what I'm saying? So when you journal, you know what you experienced and you'll know how to come back and hammer that. Word up.
For sure. Earlier, we were also talking about reps that were complaining, because these are kind of new reps. They're complaining that once they get to the back end, they're showing their family the number, whatever the case is, the throw-up sheet, the puke sheet, the proposal. The family says no, whatever the case may be. The rep steps away from the table. Okay, let me see if I can go get my manager, see if we have any other inventory or get you guys signed out. I'll be right back. The rep leaves. Now the rep is going to go find the TO to tell the TO what's going on in the back end. The issue is the rep can't find the TO. Why? Because the TO's at 3, 4, 5, 6 other tables. And now the rep is saying, oh, my family's waiting. It's been 20 minutes. Now they want to go. And now they're standing up. And I'm losing my deal because my TO's not coming to my table fast enough. I think the solution to that would be, as you're looking for your TO, do you have a credit card in your hand? No, I don't have a credit card in my hand. Then why are you looking for your TO? Go back to the table. You should be waiting.
Nah, son.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. I feel like in a perfect world, yes, you want to get a TO. But let's just keep it thorough. Forget everything you learned in the textbook. Everyone ain't giving you a commitment. Everyone is not saying, yes, it's down to the money. I could afford $200 a month. It's not happening. We could pitch that all day. But at the end of the day, there's sometimes where the dancers have to get the dancing. I can't help you. There's nothing I can do. You can't come up with $16,000 down. You can't do $1,200 a month. Damn. Sorry, I couldn't help you. Give me a second. Sometimes it be like that. And the truth don't happen until the TO comes to the table and the drop happens. When that drop happens, that's when people start to wake up. Like, wait a minute. Wait. So it's not $16,000 down. I only got to put down $5,000. Wait. So it's not $1,600. It's only not. Now I got your attention. Sometimes it don't just happen like that. Like,
that's true.
Keeping it real. Like, in a training situation, they teach you to ask, how much can you put down? How long will it come for you to, get that money together? What about the monthly payment? Is it affordable? And then your TOs is telling you, nah, don't come get me until you got a credit card. But sometimes it's all about the dance, because your TO is coming with the story on why they could justify the drop. Mm-hmm. The moral of the story is, if you work that number that you dropped and you act like you believe in, you'd be like, come on, y'all, it's only $20,000 down. I mean, you can move monies around, right? Or you can use our credit card, or, but you said you're going to spend this over the years. Like, how can I help you? Can you do 10,000 today? If you could do 10,000 a day, how much time you need to come up with the rest? You work it. But I believe, as far as the TO waiting, the TO should know, you should have a rotation. Like, before you show numbers, the TO should know, yo, listen, I'm about to start my back end. So you should be in the rotation, so you have enough time to do what you got to do to go get them.
For sure.
And I feel like in the busy season, depending on your resort, because some resorts is busy where the TO has 6 reps, 10 reps, whatever. And then somewhere they only have a couple reps. But it all becomes with timing with the TO. The rep should be telling the TO, I'm going to need you, and know how to gauge that. They should know how to gauge that. Like, if I know my TO is slow and takes some time, I'm going to tell that TO, yo, I'm about to start my back end way before I need them.
Yeah.
So by the time that I do my numbers, try to get my commitment, figure out how I'm going to exit the table, when I get them, they're already ready for me. Mm-hmm. Because the hardest part is killing more time waiting. And that should be a lesson to the rep. If you got a TO that takes a minute, sometimes we got to hold some information. Mm-hmm. We got to hold something else that we could pitch in waiting for that TO. So maybe you got a referral program, or maybe you have another benefit that you didn't explain. Maybe we got to start holding that for the time to kill time for the TO to come to the table. Some TOs will be like, all right, just stay there. I'll come to your table. I'll find you. And sometimes you just need to have something else to be, to talk about, to go over until you kill some time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
But in the summertime, like, these TOs should be telling them in the morning, like, listen, it's going to be busy. You have a system. Call me when you're coming back from property, or call me when you're about to show numbers. And this one's before you and this one's before you, so you can understand. Because guess what? As a TO, at the end of the day, we need to close deals, right? And when I go to a table, the rep that needs me may be like, I might be pitching the table right here. And there's a rep, he's waiting for me. He wants to stand right behind the table so he's visible.
Yeah.
But if I'm in front of a table, a family that I did a drop, and I see some interest,
You're gonna stay
I'm
there.
gonna work that table.
A good TO is gonna stay there and work the table. Yeah.
Because you're giving me buying signals. You didn't just object and say, "Nah, we're not buying nothing." You're like, "Okay, well, do we have to come up with all that today, or how does it really work, or whatever they're saying?" It's not saying hell no. So I need to put in some work. And if I have a brand new rep that I know can't handle this, I can't leave. TO don't eat unless you eat. So earlier on the show we was talking about, another show we was talking about, does the TO work for the rep or does the rep work for the TO? Whatever. At the end of the day, TO don't eat unless you eat. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Just like a rep shouldn't leave his money in the hands of the TO ain't gonna leave his money in the hands of the rep.
True.
So I need to work this table and get it down to the money, and maybe I got to ask for the close or overcome the objection. And if I got a hot person in front of me, I don't give a fuck who waiting for me.
Yeah.
I got to get this popping right here. I'm coming. You know what I mean?
Well, I can see why a TO, because the rep only has this one opportunity with this family. The TO has 10, 15 other opportunities going on at one time. So he can easily downplay, this one rep because I got 10 more shots to make something happen.
I mean, I won't even let them downplay the shots. You know what I'm saying? Because you just never know which. Sometimes the drop is all you need to change a whole situation. Like I said, they may give you no commitment, but when the drop comes, the eyes open up, the greed open up, the opportunity open up, the urgency opens up. And that can change everything. We've seen that all the time.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Like, we would never. But when y'all come with that Hail Mary, you know what I'm saying? It's only 15,000. I asked you for 100,000.
Yeah.
And then not to say that y'all should do that. Don't go from 100 to 15. Every drop has to be justified. But what I'm saying is when it becomes affordable, because if you do a good presentation and you build value, they should be thinking in their head, man, this too much. It's going to be too much. All this stuff you get, all these places you can go, all this nice stuff, the way that unit look, ain't no way we could afford that, man. I already know they're going to come with some crazy number. So it's normal for them to shut down sometimes. But when the drop comes, the opportunity, because every drop has a story. Oh, you was connected to an owner and we got to give you owner inventory. Oh, because it's your first time here, we give you a first day incentive. Whatever it is, they should be like, and you as a rep should be like,
you should
facial
be surprised.
expression, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But at the end of the day, when you're waiting for the TO, man, I feel like you got to try your best. Nobody wants to wait. I get it. I know it sucks. Two things that have to happen. Either you get stronger and you have a relationship with the TO will allow you to do the first drop so you can buy some time. Maybe you do a first drop that you know there's way more room to go. But maybe if you got a TO that you know is continuously like overwhelmed or slammed, just ask for that permission. Hey, if you're ever too busy, can I show like a first drop before you come just to buy some time?
Yeah.
That may help. You know what I mean? But I think the managers also need to be clear, like, and don't take it personal if y'all are rep and you know what I'm saying, man, my TO takes forever, man. Just gotta understand everybody's different. Some TOs will work for the table, work a deal for you. You know what I'm saying? As a rep, they'll work hard for you. They'll go there, they'll repitch. Like, yo, new TOs that are new to being managers, they still have that rep in them. You know what I'm saying? Remember this. And guys, if you're a rep today, you're gonna be a TO eventually. The better you get, the more you learn. There's gonna be times where you like, you know what? I want to level up. I want to become a manager, and then you know what it is. You know how to close, but imagine having to teach 10 more people how to be like you. You can't make another you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So out of the people you gonna manage, you got to figure out who's hungry, who's not, who got game, who don't. And if I got a person that got game, I could teach them what I know, and I know that they're strong enough to handle certain things on their own. But when I got a person that don't got it, I'm not letting that money slip. You know, you get a rep to be like, damn, he got a good family. Damn, I wish I had that tour. Because, you know what I'm saying? They're going to let that slip. So when the TO sense that, they like, listen, I'm not getting up off this table. There's money there.
Sure.
But then you got this other rep that's standing right there that's like, yo, I need you. So sometimes they're going to go in a little harder than they did on other tables. And don't get it twisted. I'm going to say on this, before I pass the mic,
Go ahead.
I'm going to say this. The TOs be watching your tables, man. While you pitch it, they be walking by, looking, seeing the body language, seeing if the people paying attention to you or not. So they're prejudging who they think is a deal and who's not a deal.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's a real thing, because when you're brand new, you're probably not going to be able to I guess I would call it a skill. You're not going to be able to pick up on that body language. But as you get seasoned and you know what you're looking for, you'll be able to look at other people's table and know what's going on and say, oh, that's a deal right there. You could just tell by the body language and how the table's moving. You can kind of point out what deals are, you know, about to become or whatnot.
Facts.
Another thing that was a topic, there was some reps that were asking us about whatever resort that they're at. They're not able to show live inventory on their presentation. So yeah, they're doing a presentation and they're telling the family, oh, you can go here and you can travel there and you can stay in this 2-bedroom and blah, blah, blah. But when the family says, okay, show me, they don't have a program. They don't have a system. They don't have a RCI login. They don't have an interval login. They don't have it. The company themselves don't give the reps a personal login or a dummy account to show them, hey, this is how you book this vacation. So really, the rep is just pitching off of an iBook and maybe some pictures on the iPad. But there's some families that actually want to see, like, hey, okay, book a live reservation in front of me right now. Let me see. Oh, you said it's 1,000 points to go to Hawaii? Okay, show me in your system right now 1,000 points. Don't just tell me, show me.
Why do you want to see all that, Mr. Jones?
Because I've had bad experiences in the past where other timeshare resorts have lied to me.
Fair enough.
So to the reps that are saying, hey, Richard, my company doesn't have a dummy account where I can show live inventories. What is some advice that you would give to them on how they can show the product without actually showing live inventory?
Go get another tour. I'm joking. Oh man, I mean, you got to build trust, man. If they trust you, they won't ask you them type of things. That's a trust issue. If they saying show me live, they just don't trust you, you know. And whatever way you can overcome it, you have to overcome it. Like, I mean, let me think. I don't recall having a live inventory that I can show people at all. I think I had a login for Interval where I can show
getaways or something.
You know what? To be honest with you, I never liked using the login for Interval. I just said what it was. I believe that I built the trust so much that they understood what I was saying. I never really liked logging in. Even the resort directory, you don't need a login for that. I would just show them the thing.
Show them the resorts.
But I've never had to do live inventory. In getaways, I don't recall. I'm the type of person that would screenshot something and then just show them like that, but not live. I said, when you become an owner, you get your own login. You know what I'm saying? And then right now, if I go try to log into another owner's login, I'm sharing the information with you, and I don't want to click the wrong button and book something for them and then be responsible for that. So,
got you.
You know, but I have heard of people asking to show me live. I think more on the point side, more than the weak side. Not on the weak side.
Yeah.
But on the point side,
a week is a week.
Yeah, a week is a week, man. What you talking about, man? Like the Lord only made 1 week, weeks. So, but when it comes to points, I think sometimes they want to see that live because you say that it fluctuates, like, you know, the season in the bedroom. Where with us in the weeks arena, it's like, listen, there's only 7 weeks that are event weeks. You know what I'm saying? And you know what they are?
Summertime? Is that an event week?
What, are you from the old school?
Summertime.
Red week? No. So you have 14 and 15, which is Easter, right? 14 and 15 on spring break. Then you have week 26, which is 4th of July. 6 and 7 was bike week because that's a Florida thing. And then you have 51, 52. That's Christmas and New Year's.
You forgot November.
Did I say 26? November ain't no hot week. 26 is 4th of July.
Thanksgiving is not an event week?
Nah, bro. That Thanksgiving falls in like a slow season, and it's really weak. I think if it's not, it's like 40 or something like that.
Interesting.
Word. So I think some resorts like caught on that like November's a thing, but it's not an event week.
Got you.
But back in the day, before they had that, they had like a red week. I guess it was blue. I don't know. It's before my time. That's like 90s or whatever. So, but to make a long story short, you have certain like 7 weeks that was like, you know what I'm saying? Bike week, which was 6 and 7, week 14 and 15, spring break, Easter, 26, 4th of July, 51, 52, Christmas, New Year's. Mm-hmm. Everything else was just all season. Now with points, you point lovers, obviously you have weekends, you have weekdays, you have stuff like that. So
Friday and Saturdays are more points than Monday through Thursday, for sure.
So I can see people saying like, show me live or whatever, but the big debate, weeks of points. What's better?
I'm team points.
Whatever you sell is better.
Yeah.
Sell it today, sell it now. Hey, shout out to, who was that? Pat Libby and is it Tom Hopkins that wrote that book, Sell It Today, Sell It Now. The entire Westgate Resource Training was based upon that book. That's the book that teaches the sequence of the sale. It's a huge book, but it's an audio book where you can listen to it. But yeah, man. So shout out to everybody in the sales game. Shout out to everyone that follows Sold in 60. Shout out to everyone who likes, subscribes, who shares this. I appreciate y'all commenting. We want to know what you want to hear about. We would love for you to follow our Instagram page. We actually have a survey in our link that we want to know, what you feel about things that you would like to talk about, things that you would like us to share, stuff like that. So just check us out, tap in, because this community was made for y'all, because we didn't have this when we were first initially on the floor. So thank you for your support and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So one more thing that I want to ask you, Dylan. Let me see. Oh, my notes are out.
Oh, wow. Go right ahead.
I forgot what it was. It was something about ethics. We can't change the industry, right? But
it was not the rental.
That was about maintenance.
Oh, okay.
My owners love maintenance because it guarantees the beauty of the resorts, and they have no worries about the quality, the conditions of the room. But some resorts don't have that much of objection because they have ways to offset the maintenance. What is the most popular way to offset the cost of maintenance?
The most popular way to offset the cost of maintenance would have to be renting your unit out.
Absolutely.
Right? And if we're not renting your unit, then renting out the getaways, you're right, from the exchange company.
Is that legal? Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, depends on who you ask. You could do it. It's been done before, But apparently, we were just reading DVC, Disney Vacation Club cracks down on DVC owners renting out their unit. So apparently, DVC owners, which is Disney Vacation Club, are being told that they can rent out their unit. Well, I guess the catch is you can rent out your unit for family and friends. You can't rent it out for business purposes to try to make money, outside of families and friends. Now, how can they know who's a family member and who's just a regular guest that's renting from the owner? I don't know. Maybe that's what the big dispute is about. Because my understanding is you can will it, you can rent it, you can sell it, you can use it.
Right, exactly.
So when it comes to the renting, why is there always an issue?
It's always an issue. I don't understand why. And you tell them that you can do this, and then you want to pull back when people find an angle or a loophole to monetize off it. If I'm not using my time, listen, I'm going to tell y'all this. I believe in rental. I'm not telling nobody to pitch rental, but I say be confident when you tell the person they can rent it. I've personally rented a 2-bedroom condo from someone to go stay at the Atlantis, Harborside, the Atlantis. I paid $800 for a 2-bedroom unit for the entire week. It was a 2-bedroom, and that was dope, right? Today I was talking to someone who rented a week off somebody from Red Week. So it works. And as a rep, I've helped people rent their weeks, obviously. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in it. I don't understand what the problem is. I think it's the misrepresentation that you can make a lot of money of it and retire.
Well, not just that. Okay, yes, you can rent the unit, but where are you finding the renters? That's the thing. I can rent my 3-bedroom overlooking the lake all day long. Where am I finding the renter at? Are you going to find, is the sales rep going to find the renter for me? Do I have to find the renter myself? I think that's the issue.
Well, earlier you said you was a volleyball coach and you have a network, so share it amongst your network. Earlier you said you work in a call center, so you can share with your call center friends. Earlier you said you have a lot of followers on Facebook, so share it on your Facebook. Hey, there's some other sites that people use when they don't stay at resorts. You ever heard of them? What's the name of them again? Let them tell you. Use the platforms that you know to offset the weeks that you're not going to use.
Yeah, for sure.
But then the reps are getting in trouble for sharing that information with them. But you want us to educate the people on the flexibility of the product. What's the problem? I think it's the people who believe they're going to get rich off of greed. And that just shows you that the buyer has different motives. They're going to buy because of need, they're going to buy because of greed, or they're going to buy because of fear of loss. You know what I mean? And I think that's the problem when it comes to the whole rental thing. But some people, some resorts have it in the paperwork that says like, we don't have a rental program, or you're doing this for only your enjoyment. So these people know if you make it past deeding, they have signed or initialed on those documents that said you're not buying it to get rich, you're not buying it to make money, you're buying it for recreation, and so that's that.
Breaking news just coming in. Let's see, WNBFnews.com. It hurts. Timeshare owners react to a closed resort in Myrtle Beach now up for auction. So it looks like what's happening is this beach house, golf, and racket club is up for auction and terminated its timeshare program. The current bid is $700,000, which is just a fraction of the $3 million estimated that it cost to repair the buildings. But here's the kicker. After the certain close, timeshare owners had the option of taking a $250 buyout or transferring their deeds elsewhere or voting on the resort's future. In March, there was a majority vote to sell the property. So think about it like this. The owners were offered a $250 buyout. That's a spit in the face, because I'm pretty sure.
I was waiting for you to say $250,000.
No. A $250 buyout.
Maybe we should try to buy it.
I'm pretty sure they spent at least minimum $10,000 for this one bedroom or this studio, maybe $15,000-$20,000, and they're getting a $250 buyout.
I wonder how many owners they got. So if you buy it for $700,000. Starting bid. Let's just say get it for $1,000. How many of their owners they got? I wonder.
It can't be much. It looks like just one small building right there. But this goes back to, because that's one of the objections in the book actually. How do I know if you guys are going to be around in 5 years from now? And that kind of goes back to, because there's timeshare companies that are the smaller names, you really don't know about them, and then there's the companies with the big names. The companies with the smaller names, you got to kind of be careful, because they might be here one day and gone the next.
Fly by night.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful.
It looked like about 90 rooms times 52 weeks. Yeah, I might want to buy that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 700,000. Yeah, the current bid starts at 700,000. Well, it starts at 700, so it's probably going to run up higher than that. But yeah, that's crazy.
I think that comes with credibility for the company you're at. If you're at a bigger company, you can use stories like that.
Exactly.
There are some companies that have changed hands multiple times, and I think that's a major thing that will build trust. If you work for a company that has not changed hands and they kept the same owner the whole time, then use that to your advantage. But you can use stories like this to say, like, we haven't changed. We've been the same owner.
Yeah. And
you have some companies that CEOs change, or the owners change. I mean, look at Blue Green was bought by Hilton, Diamonds bought by Hilton, and you can use that to your advantage, actually. You know what I'm saying? Because now we're getting bigger, bigger network, yada yada yada. So just got to be swift with it. I was actually finding out that next episode there's like a few different companies, and I think the big ones are trying to like swallow up all the small ones. So we have like we're limiting the amount of players that we have. You know what I'm saying? But there are some small guys still surviving, still hanging in there. So if you work at a small resort, we want to know who you are. Please hit us up. We want to know about your resort. We want to know about your product, because we only know some of the big dogs that are like artist sponsors, you know? So shout out to all y'all. Some people, listen, I feel like the industry is so small. Like if you leave one place, you go to another place, you go to another place, you go to another place. But a lot of times people they figured out that they want to stick to what they know best. So they double back to where they originally started.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes you realize some people leave because they feel like the grass is greener somewhere else. You know how many people that I see that be like, hey man, I heard at this resort, man, this guy made $1 million, man. 6 months, he already got $1 million liquid, man. I'm about to leave this joint, man. You know? And it's like, you don't know what he's pitching. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Sure. He's not you. She's not you. And at the end of the day, what are the grass where you at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people jump ship because they heard this, they heard that. And then you got people calling them like, yo. And I was like, listen, I met people that'll be like, oh, you got to come over here, man. Capital's where it's at, da-da-da-da-da. And I'd be like, nah, I'm good. And then guess what? 3 months later, yo, they hiring where you at?
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened? And he's like, nah, it's whack. It's not. So don't fall for the bait, man. Do your process, run your track, run your, have your own experience.
That's, you know what? I didn't get a chance to ask Keisha. I wanted to ask Keisha that, what she felt as far as, let's say I'm going through a slump, right? It's been 2-3 weeks since I got a deal. Should I stay at that resort and ride it till the wheels fall off, or should I already be looking at other options for other opportunities at other resorts?
I got the solution. If you're in a slump, you go to Instagram.com, you go to Sold in 60, you click to the top, you click the link in the bio, you click on the secret sauce class, and you take yourself back to A to Z, because there's something that you changed that you're missing that's making you not sell. So that's what you do. You go back to the basics, man. Whenever you're in a slump, you go back to the basics, go back to the foundation, and you take it from the top. And that's it. Because what happens with experience, man, you start getting sales, doing it the fast way because you're feeling yourself and you're missing steps. You know what I mean? You're not doing a warm-up. You're not doing it about you. You're not creating commonality. You're not building up the value. You're not acknowledging the pact. You're not letting them know that they decided that they wasn't going to buy nothing, that those things. You're not tying down. You're not working the back end. You're not going for the close. You're not, building the emotion. You're not covering up with logic. You're not building urgency. There's something being missed. So what was the question? Should you bounce to another resort if you go through a slump? No. You do a checkup from the neck up and you grind it out and you ride it till the wheels fall off until they tell you got to go. Unless you're in overage. Because overage is a thing. Shout out to the people that ever understood what overage is. I'm just learning about these terms from different people that I've met. So overage, I believe, and hopefully I can explain it right. For whatever reason, if your numbers is in a bad place, you sit in this place like it's like a timeout until there's like a extra tour that you can get. And then you if you sell it, then you get back on the regular rotation. So overage is like a timeout. But I don't think that's fair, man. I don't think that overage is fair, because there's some people that will go in every day. They got up early. They dressed their best. They practiced their script. They're ready to sell, but they won't get an opportunity at all unless it's just an extra family or someone that's a walk-in that's asking for information. I mean, how do you get a person back on their feet if they're not given an opportunity? I don't make the rules for y'all resorts. And all I can say is, if you're in that position, just try your best to fight your way out of that position. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you always going to be on the top in sales, because sometimes it'd be a roller coaster. But if you ever find yourself in that position, man, just try to take any opportunity you can and give it your all. But don't stop sharpening your axe. Don't stop like trying to be better. Don't stop at all. Because when you get the opportunity, what is luck? Luck is when preparation and opportunity meet. And that's luck. And that's when you're going to get a sale and get back on track. So if you're on overage, that's not going to last long.
breaking news just coming out. Travel and leisure company to build Margaritaville, a brand new Margaritaville timeshare resort near Disney World. So I can tell you this: travel and leisure, is that their own thing, or is that Wyndham? That's their own thing.
I think that's
Wyndham. It's part of Wyndham, right? If people are saying, "Oh, timeshares dying," the people that are getting into the game right now is too late, and all that. Guys, if the travel industry, hospitality industry was dying, they wouldn't be building more resorts. I can tell you that right now.
Bro, they just built a theme park that's twice the size of the Universal that was already there. There's millions and more people traveling. I just met somebody from Saudi that flew here just to go to the theme park. Mm-hmm. They can continue building.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So people are going to travel. People want to save money. Our job is to show them the value of where it makes more sense to own than rent. It has to. For the illogical person, you have to make the numbers make sense. So you have to build the value big and present your product. For the emotional person, you already know what to do. It's family, it's legacy, it's quality time. Put them in a picture. How you say? Sell the sizzle?
Sell the sizzle, not the steak.
There you go for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's good that they're building. That's more opportunities. There's more job. There's more for y'all to get your real estate license and go to richdaleschool.com to get your real estate license so that you can sell timeshare and get paid. So shout out to everyone that is licensed, getting paid. If you started this summer and you're not licensed, do me a favor. On your off days, study, get that license. There's nothing like selling the same energy that it costs that it takes to sell a $10,000 deal is the same it takes to sell a $50,000 deal. $1,000 commission or $5,000 commission, but you're doing that and you getting paid. I don't know what you're getting paid, but $80 a day, $100 a day. So take the time out to push yourself to get your license so you can be compensated for your work. You know what I'm saying? So listen, we appreciate y'all. We ask that y'all continue to like, share, comment, share this with somebody else. Click the link in our bios. Check out what we got going on in there. There's a tip jar in there if you want to tip us so we could do more stuff for you. Tip through that. If you want to get a course, you want to get the new workbook, the workbook is free. Whatever y'all want, man. We did this for the team. We did this for the culture. We do this for the timeshare salespeople because we're the one and only timeshare podcast in the world.
like DMX said, we ain't going anywhere. We right here.
Word, man. So I appreciate y'all. Until next time, it's Sold in 60. And I'll leave y'all with this outro. All right, peace, y'all. You're now tuned in to Sold in 60, the one and only timeshare podcast in the world. This is the show made by timeshare salespeople for timeshare salespeople. Whether you're brand new to the floor or a veteran in the game, we're here to empower, educate, and elevate your game in the sales industry. Each week, we bring you real strategies, raw conversations, and relatable stories from the heart of the hustle, all in 60 minutes or less. Sold in 60 is proudly sponsored by the Richdale School of Real Estate, providing real estate education, Factual Film Studio, providing professional podcast recording services, and Abundance Boulevard, teaching financial literacy and wealth building. So lock in, lean in, and let's get to selling.